Welcome to
Cowhide Stories for GG Kids.
a place where
Kids like us
we'll be inspired
by awesome Christian stories.
Okay kids, all you need to do is put your marshmallow on the stick and then hold it over the fire to roast it. Just make sure it doesn't get burnt.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Wilson, for the instructions. I can't wait to eat this delicious marshmallow. I've never done this. I'm so excited. It's yummy and gooey inside and toasty on the outside. Oh, yum.
Esther, Puppy, did you guys see my brothers sharing their marshmallows?
They did?
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's a good sign.
Oh, Esther, part 4.
Oh, yes. Yes, let's get into the story now. But first, I want to say hi to our boys and girls. Hi, boys and girls.
Oh, hello, boys and girls. We were so excited about marshmallows and the boys getting along, we forgot to say hello.
But here we are saying hello. We hope you're enjoying the story.
Hi, boys and girls. It's me, Sophie.
We are having so much fun at this camping, but it's coming to an end.
I don't want it to end.
I know, but then we can plan another one later on.
Ooh, yes, it's a plan. Oh, wait, I think my marshmallow's almost done.
Oh, yum. All right, while you eat, I'll say the story.
Oh, yes, please.
Last week on the podcast, Joseph has just given some bad news to the baker that worked for Pharaoh. He told him that in 3 days he was going to be executed. Let's see what happens next. Joseph and His Coat of Many Colors, Part 4, written by Ashley Price. The baker glared at Joseph.
How dare he give me this interpretation? I don't believe it one bit.
He thought. But when he remembered the interpretations were from God and not Joseph, he realized he could not be angry. He sighed heavily, and soon his angry eyes changed and filled with tears. We don't know for sure, but we can imagine Joseph putting his arm around the baker to comfort him in his last days on this earth. And perhaps he shared the good news of salvation with him so that he could decide to follow God before he died. However it happened, we know Joseph was kind and caring and did all he could to uplift the hearts of others around him. Sure enough, 3 days later, the baker was taken out to be executed, and the butler was returned to Pharaoh's palace. Before the butler had gone, though, Joseph asked him to tell Pharaoh about him so that he might be let out of prison, as someone had unfairly placed him there. But when the butler found his home in the lavish courts with marble walls instead of the grey cells of the jail, he quickly forgot about Joseph and never made mention of him to Pharaoh. Joseph remained in prison for 2 more years, losing hope of ever getting out. One night, the Pharaoh had 2 dreams that troubled him, and none of his wise men could interpret it. And when he told his officers about them, something triggered the memory of Joseph in the butler's brain. He said to Pharaoh,
I know of one who can interpret your dreams. It is a Hebrew slave in the prison. The baker whom you executed 2 years ago and I both had dreams, and he could interpret them correctly. The baker was to be executed, and I was to be reinstated to my position in your courts.
So Pharaoh sent for Joseph, and Joseph was brought to the palace. Standing before Pharaoh and all his counselors, Joseph listened to the dreams. Pharaoh's first dream was about 7 fat cows coming out of the river, followed by 7 skinny cows. And the skinny cows ate up all the fat cows, but remained unhealthy looking, just as they had before. The second dream was about 7 plump ears of corn growing on a stalk, followed by 7 withered ears of corn that ate up the plump ones, yet remained just as withered as before.
What do these things mean?
Pharaoh asked worriedly.
Pharaoh's 2 dreams are one.
Joseph began.
God wishes to show Pharaoh how to prepare for the future, which is why he wanted to reveal the meaning to you. There are going to be 7 years of plenty, where everyone will have enough food and water. But 7 years of famine will follow, where people will starve and some even dying. The solution to this problem is that Pharaoh should appoint one man over the land of Egypt and make preparations to store up food during these 7 years of plenty for the 7 years of famine, so that there will be enough food for his people to survive.
Pharaoh was pleased with Joseph's interpretation, so he began searching for a man to appoint over Egypt to store up the food for the years of famine, just as Joseph had said. Pharaoh realized he could not find a better person than Joseph himself, as he proved himself loyal to his commander, Potiphar, and the jailers in the prison. So Joseph was made the second in command over all of Egypt, with only the Pharaoh ruling above him. And Joseph was very thankful for the opportunity to share the worship of his God with the officers in Pharaoh's palace. Throughout all his days, he remained ever faithful to the Lord, who had always been his true master, no matter who had been put in charge of him. Joseph later prepared the storage of food that God had revealed to him to do in Pharaoh's dream. And so when the years of famine came, there was plenty of food for everyone to eat. But Joseph's story doesn't end there. He saved his whole family from starvation when his brothers came to Egypt looking for food to take back to their families. God helped restore Joseph's relationship with his brothers, and Joseph could see his beloved father again after all those years. The rest of the life of Joseph shows that God really cares and looks out for us in everything that we face in our lives. Even when you feel like your situation is too impossible for Jesus to fix, just remember how God used Joseph's unpleasant experience to bring good things into his life. God can turn any bad experience into one that will glorify him if we trust his perfect plan for our lives.
Oh, wow! I love that it has a happy ending, even though he went through so much.
I know, and the best thing is that he got out of jail, which was fantastic, but him and his brothers became friends again and he forgave them.
Wow, I love that story. And I think my brothers did too, because I've seen them listening and they haven't been fighting as much.
Yes, I've noticed that too, and that's such great news.
I know. Oh, that's fantastic. Esther, I think our plan worked.
I think so too, and let's keep praying for them.
Yes.
Now, boys and girls, if you want to read the story of Joseph, all of the story, you can go to your Bibles and study in Genesis 37 and onwards, and you can read that for family worship with your family.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Well, that's all from us, boys and girls. Till next time.
Oh, we're going to miss Sophie and the family, but we're definitely going to stay in touch.
Definitely.
Till next time, boys and girls. Bye.
Bye.
I wonder if I could become second in command of a country.
And don't forget, girls, you are Gigi, gorgeous in God's image. And boys, you are also Gigi, great in God's image.